adjusted for inflation. Adjusted for the fact.
I'm saying AFK, that's fine.
That inflation is going to erode the value of our money, okay? The value of the loan principal. All right, so let's look at an example, right? Well, we'll come into that example, but the real rate of interest, and we're going to see this in the example class, that real rate of interest is going to be equal to nominal interest rate minus this. So the real interest rate, as we'll see when we do the example shortly, real interest rate is equal to the nominal interest rate minus the inflation rate. All right, let's do our example. Here's our example. What if, class, you would like to purchase a home? What if you want to purchase a home? Okay? What if the home you'd like to purchase costs $10 million? Now, we know these days, class, I mean, class, do you guys keep up with those prices, real estate prices? Sometimes I see one-bedroom apartments for like 20 million, 30 million. I mean, it's ridiculous, class. The prices are just completely out of this world nowadays, right? Okay, Michaela, interesting. Okay, Daniel, I understand, Daniel, it's very depressing. It's very expensive. Come on. Yes, Kayla?
It's not fine that persons are living in the apartment, and I know the thing that apartments are going to expensive because we like reality and feel what else that person needs to be. Just look at something here, but that's how we have to work together.
I agree with you 100%. Because sometimes these closets, they're selling for 25 million. Little closets, you know, I mean, they're so small. I agree with them that don't make it worth the money. It's ridiculous. Anyway, what if you want to buy a house for $10 million back, but you don't have the money, right? So you're going to borrow the money fast. You're going to borrow the money to purchase the $10 million class. Eva has land that she would like to sell you. Announcement. Eva has land that she would like to sell you. If you wish to buy some land, please contact me. Okay, so you want to buy this $10 million house class. So you're going to borrow $10 million. Borrow $10 million from the bank. Everybody with me? You borrow $10 million from the bank. Now, what if that? What if the bank charges you an interest rate of 10% back? The bank is charging you an interest rate of 10%. Okay. So you borrow the money, the interest rate is 10%. Now, let's say you live in the house for a year. Okay, you live in the house for a year. At the end of the
No, I didn't.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm trying
Nah, here. Man. Ya come to we ain't so far. Let's make a bone to them still. I'm leave up the shot. Most close, I can't get him. Man. Oh shit.
Man?
Yeah. Come back. Just waste of time play this dog.
Because of inflation, prices go up by 10% during that year, right? So now, the house that you bought for $10 million now has a value of $11 million because of the inflation. Okay? So at the end of the year, you sell the house for $11 million. Now remember, the interest rate was 10%. And then you take the proceeds from the house and you give it to the bank. So you give back the bank the $11 million. What does that mean, Dad? It means that you've lived in the house for the year at no charge to yourself. Everybody with me? Right? So if the interest rate was 10% and inflation was 10%, if you lived in the house for a year free of charge at no cost to yourself. So what that means is that what the bank should have done was charge an interest rate of something like 15%. Now, if the interest rate was 15%, right? And then, once again, you live in the house for the year, okay?
What is it?
The three people, am I right? Yeah, what's your right?
Me? Oh. Dah. Meni nama bawa cedal. Kami ni bagi non, so meni nama bawa je. Faida mami kami kiar, mi kaya kiar na tu. Tahu tu na suku tahu tu na. Suku mi kaya ya eat, berada mi kaya ya eat. Suku ya ye meno. Alright.
Money a bumbo.
Actually, one version, no? Part 2. Oh.
Me I fight one man, two left on Odell, then knock Odell, then me get licked by two, you know. So me get fucked.
Done one for one card. Where are the stuff? Aku go fight. Yang mana?
What time now, dog?
Unfortunate dog.
Why ain't it fucking... Come on, break it up.
Kita nak nama tak ada take what? No, kami nak nama sama Max Breaker.
Why were they? Why did I first?
That $10 million.
Ada
Everybody with me? So it's a real interest rate.
My brother, I have 62 points.
Explain to that loan interest rate. It's the same thing, Tariq. That's still a nominal interest rate. So the real interest rate would be take the nominal interest rate and subtract the inflation. Same thing. Alright, let's look at the market for funds. We're going to discuss how we determine the rate of interest in any fund. Now remember we said earlier, and we illustrated it with our example, that desired investment isn't usually equal to desired savings. So we need
Hey,
to
man,
find some way
I zero the
to
panic car last night and a
our
back easy boy.
savings for investment. So as we
I'm a baby, you know.
started on in the
She
course,
said,
how
oh,
we
why can't we
allocate
just be
scarce
normal
resources in
friends?
economics, we use markets. So what we need is loanable investment.
I mean,
Well, key.
me say, why we can't be normal friends? Me say, you want to be normal friends? She said, no. Cool, no, man.
Also trying to be on top of what anticipated inflation is, right? But remember, in fact, I discussed this last week when we talked about the problem with inflation. Remember, I said
That's what we did today.
nominal rate of interest. We have to keep in mind what anticipated inflation is.
You always want to come out on top, and that's what we did today.
The nominal interest rate charge. Because remember, as I said last week, if inflation is higher than anticipated, that is good for the person who borrowed the money. Because when you pay back the money, you're actually going to be paying back less, right? Because of the value of the money that's decreased. But if inflation is lower than anticipated, that is good for the creditor. Everybody with me? But remember, key, that the interest
Sometimes
rate
fun
that
even
we
makes
use
sense, you know, cause if them push the land, so I don't know, give them as
nominal
bounty.
interest rate. So if you want to know what the real interest rate is, yes, we have to know what inflation is, right? Okay, so we need our market for loan/investable funds. Okay, so remember earlier we talked about the financial sector, institutions, and the market. So let's talk about supply of funds versus demand of funds. Where do the savings come from? What are the sources of our loanable funds? Well, remember we said individuals make deposits into commercial banks, right? Like our BNS and our NCB. But individuals also make deposits into their banks, like the credit unions and right? And then individuals also make deposits into insurance companies. And all of these are available for investment purposes. Also, you can purchase stocks and you can purchase bonds.
I'm well, I mean, no, I mean, my God, beat.
Of the demand for funds, right? We know that
Two boy, I mean, man, lamp, me. No, me na in there.
we know that the stock market or companies issue stocks and companies sell bonds, right? So these, let me change my color. These over
Man, push the run, come on.
supply of funds, right? And once the funds are available, these are the
No, no gun. I'm. Oh, so that you have a bounty. Suki alone, good.
right? These, let me change my color. These over here represent the supply of funds, right? And then once the funds are
Man, me that car, cut the rest of the loot and sitting there. Oh, my son come.
so that's our demand and demand. So as we look at three things we need. We need, well, let me use a different color.
Suki, I pull up, no gun here. So,
We need
Just hide or sit down, rush over, just hide, not what to see, you know. Man, loot, man, I see, loot fast and focus. Right as a sucker, I not no gun at all, nothing. Like, I have a big pot, I have a med kit, I have a mini, I have a pump, I have pulling two tests, I'm ready.
There are several rates of interest on any card, right?
Enough team, if you can hide with them fight are good, just don't push nobody, just hide in something.
So we know, for example,
Alright, let's move on in a couple seconds.
we have long-term interest
Yeah, my marky, but I agree.
on the length slash
Marky.
charged by we have interest rates paid by banks on deposits, right?
Suko kill him, man. Me afford, me try to get this in, bro.
Or but I'm after talk about three rates of interest. Because when I talk about three rates
Me afford, bro.
these two we know there are
Bro, it's a fuck up, bro.
realize that these interest rates tend to move together.
Me afford.
If one
Me afford, man, me the far, The far body.
What do you mean, how does it work, Terry? You put the money in the bank, you invest the money in
Everybody dead?
the savings account.
No, Ubuntu still there, me there. Hold on, me there couple seconds away, man. Come up.
And you earn interest.
Don't let no. Alright, me there, know. Take us to 1%, brother. 17, man. Guys, you have to take us man, brother, thanks you. Man, there's
Not that bad, but the real interest rate
you're not alive, Suki. You're dead, where you talk about?
with credit market. Yes,
What is that? The two test them.
not that bad. But the real interest rate is going to be
Boy, the gas station money.
yes, that's hard. As we said earlier, it's the real interest rate
You're not good for them.
that determines lending and
You're not good for them. Nice, dog.
the real interest rate that determines lending and borrowing, right? So it's not that bad to me. The real interest rate is going to be the price in the credit market. Yes, that's hard.
You should care.
Price in the credit market. Yes, that's hard. Did I answer your question? Please answer it. I personally am not taking any advice as it pertains to whether you should invest in local or foreign stock market. I do not want to
No, sir. Come in. Are you my fan now? Oh.
That is all I will say on the matter. And also, I will agree with you that generally speaking,
Man, don't drive, man.
however,
Cause if you drive, now man, them brother. But they carry up baby so. But they're not shooting me. Put it for me. Close. No, not close.
you're reading
Hey, come to me. No, lie.
informed decision.
Yup. Back I 3, so. Back I 3, pan wanna launch for me too. Suko, crack him, Suko. Suko, okay, come up. Don't go in there, Suko, please. Suko, you get in too often, bro. You get in too often, dog. Man, easy, dog. Suku, you're getting too much sometimes, bro. Just relax, bro.
Right, Natalia, okay. Last, so we said, from the first stage,
Easy, bro. They're not good. You can't kill him today.
right? Remember we said,
I'm gonna put your ass blood clot, dog.
so let's say class, initially, the interest rate.
Bro, brother, maybe.
Very important. Remember, once we're talking about the graph, we have to identify what sort of taxes. So on the x-axis, we have quantity of funds. On the x-axis, we have quantity of funds. And on the y-axis, we have the real interest rate, right? So, and that's going to be our price of loanable funds. So on the x-axis, we have quantity. On the y-axis, we have real interest rate. All right, so let's say when the interest rate is 7%, the quantity of funds available is $10 million, right? That's an increase in interest rate from 7%.
And fuck you, I'm going some blood clot time, brother.
We have an increase in interest rate.
I'm shutting off some blood clot class. See, I chuck on me. I'm gonna play chuck. Fuck you.
If the interest rate increases, then obviously individuals are going to be encouraged to save more, right? The opportunity cost of not putting your money in the bank is going to increase because you'll be giving up earning more money. So yes, people are going to save more. Foreigners will also save more back because it means
You know, take something, girl, that's so my free.
invest in local financial assets, right? So both individuals within the economy and also persons from other countries would be encouraged to increase their domestic savings, or I should say, increase their savings in the local economy, in this economy, right? The T is on income, on just general T. T, remember, was taxes. Remember, T was taxes, and we said it was revenue earned by government, and it was paid by consumers. So, class, with an increase in the interest rate, there is an increase in the quantity of funds available. So we see that arrow there. So
Ain't no way projection
that
already.
our supply curve for loanable funds is going to be upward sloping, right? It's tax, but just income tax. Well, I'm referring, in this specific example, I'm referring to all direct taxes. So all taxes that come straight from your salary to the government. In this scenario, I'm referring to all direct taxes, all taxes that come straight from your salary to the government. Alright, so our supply curve for loanable funds, therefore, is going to be upward sloping. Right, so now class, let us examine our demand curve. Let us examine the demand curve. Now remember why we're borrowing money, right? We're borrowing money for investment. Okay? So there are different.
Everyone's like, Chrissy, clean your room. Chrissy, clean your room. Chrissy, clean your room. Chrissy, clean your room. I can't.
What if you were to invest in a bridge, interest rate is 8%. For the highway, the rate of return is what I should have said. The rate of return is 8%. For the highway, the rate of return is 7%, right? Office building, rate of return is 6%. This is what you're going to be earning when you invest in these things, right? The rate of return on the warehouse, 5%. Rate of return on the soap factory, 4%. Rate of return on the call center, 3%. Rate of return on the retail store, 2%. Notice I left out the KFC franchise class because I don't want to encourage anybody to invest in any KFC franchise. Okay. Alright. Now class, at an interest rate of 3.5%, let us look at which one of these investment opportunities would be viable, right? If the interest rate is at 3.5%, which of these investment opportunities would allow us to make a profit? The soap factory, the warehouse, the office building, the highway, no comment please, the highway and the bridge, right? Everybody with me? So notice quite a sense to us as an industry. What if the interest rate is 6.5%? Let's draw this in. Let's draw in the cutoff at 6.5%. At 6.5%, which of these investment opportunities is now viable? Right, now it's just the highway and the bridge, right? Just only the highway and the bridge makes sense. So at a higher rate of interest, fewer investment opportunities are viable. So that means at a high rate of interest, right, persons are going to be borrowing less money. Therefore, our demand curve for loanable funds is going to be downward sloping. Let me repeat. At a higher interest rate, fewer investment opportunities are going to be viable, or fewer investment opportunities will be profitable for us, or will make sense for us to pursue. Therefore, at a higher rate of interest, persons will be investing less. Therefore, the demand for loanable funds will be lower. Therefore, our demand curve for loanable funds is going to be downward sloping. So as usual now, let's combine supply and demand. Now, of course, class, at the point where the two curves intersect, that's going to be our equilibrium interest rate. And so that is going to be our state of rest. And so there's going to be no tendency for us to move away from that point. But what if, class, we are at an interest rate that is below equilibrium?
Well, you can need a 5-minute cure now.
What if we're at an interest rate below
Wait for
equilibrium?
20 minutes for
Well, to find out what's going on in the economy, as usual, we're going to go over to the
Should've just played
curve.
Douche and got in.
So let's move across. So this is the supply curve, right? So this is the quantity of loanable funds being supplied at that interest rate, right? Let's continue moving over. This is our demand curve. This is the quantity of loanable funds that persons wish to have at that rate. So this is the amount of investing that people wish to do. This is the amount of funds available. So yes, Lamar, there'll be a shortage of funds, of loanable funds, if we are at an interest rate that is below the equilibrium. So what is going to happen? It means that now our financial institutions can what? Increase their interest rates, right? Because people are desperate for funds. People are desperate for funds because the number of investment opportunities that they want to pursue is greater than the amount of funds available. So our financial institutions can increase the interest rate. And of course, as they increase the interest rate, demand is going to fall, supply is going to rise until we get to equilibrium. On the opposite end of the spectrum,
Yes, man, but
find out what's going on.
okay, ice. Don't come up and no ice. Come on, I don't get that. No, I can't. ICE. Go ice. No ice.
See that at an interest rate that is
Okay.
above equilibrium.
ICE. Don't take you, bro. All broke that.
Available to be borrowed is bigger than the amount of funds that people wish to borrow, which means that the financial institutions are going to reduce their rates in order to encourage persons to borrow more. So once again, interest rates here will move towards equilibrium. Right? No, Jamil, increasing the interest rate will reduce the demand for loanable funds, right? But remember, we had an excess demand, right, Jamil? When we were below the equilibrium, we had an excess demand for loanable funds. So as we increase the interest rate, we're going to reduce the demand, right? Until we get to equilibrium, where demand is equal to supply.
Big man thing. Why your boy not play the cup bag? Hey, quick. Big man thing, cause people say good in and good in. What go on?
Increase the interest rate, that will reduce the quantity demanded and increases the quantity supplied until they become equal to each other. Everybody with me, class? So if we're below the equilibrium interest rates will rise. If we are above the equilibrium interest rates will fall. Okay? Standard market analysis. So if we're below the equilibrium interest rates will rise. If we are above the equilibrium interest rates will fall. Okay? Standard market analysis. Right, Janelle. If the interest rate is increased, more people will want to lend money. That's an increase in supply. That's an increase in quantity supply. More people would want to lend money. That's an increase in supply. But fewer people will want to borrow money, so that's a reduction in demand. Remember, we're talking about supply. Right, exactly, Janelle. So there will be an increase in supply because more people will want to lend money, but there will be a reduction in demand because fewer people will want to borrow money. So quantity demanded will go down, quantity supplied will go up. Remember, quantity supplied comes from
Alright, so that means that Sheldon left Glenmere having not played one B Cup for them basically, and his life is revolved around soccer. It basically makes sense to me now, that guy, his mother want him to play football, you see me? If your mother want him to play football that badly, and you see me, a football I want to know whatever, you see me?